Welcome back to Worst Engines or Not. Today we are talking about the Dodge Magnum 360 5.9 liter engine. This engine began production in 1992 and ran all the way up until 2003. It is a V8 gasoline overhead valve pushrod engine design, features cast iron block, cast iron cylinder heads. So from 71 to 93, Chrysler produced a 360 engine that was a member of the LA family. The Magnum eventually replaced that engine. The Magnum is based off of that LA engine design. You can find this engine in a lot of your Dodge pickups, Dodge SUVs, even some Jeep Grand Cherokees. I will pop up a full list of applications here. And this engine does have a pretty well-known reputation for being pretty reliable, although it is known to be a gas guzzler. It's also known to be pretty underpowered. So if you think about Ford coming out with the Triton engine and GM coming out with the LS engines at the same time, so in comparison, the Magnum can be a little bit underwhelming in the power department. Magnums are made up to the 46RH and the 46RE transmissions, both of which have a reputation for being questionable as far as reliability is concerned. And there are a couple of other issues that are pretty well known with these engines. So first issue on these is going to be your plenum gasket leak. So on this engine, your intake plenum, aka your intake manifold, is made up of two parts. The top part is going to be cast aluminum. The bottom part is going to be a stamped steel plate. Sealing the two is going to be a gasket. We all know that gaskets are prone to deterioration over time. So in this location, when that gasket deteriorates, the engine does start to leak air. Air leaks eventually lead to pressure loss, and whenever you are losing pressure, you are having a lot of performance issues. This problem was pretty common, so there are a ton of kits out there to help you fix this problem, and there are a lot of aftermarket intakes available that are upgraded so you don't have this issue. Problem number two is going to be weak cylinder heads. So we know that the engine was based off of the LA 360 engine design. And when Dodge designed the Magnum, they did make improvements to that cylinder head design. However, despite all of those efforts, we still ended up with a lot of problems with these cylinder heads. So just generally speaking, it was known to be a pretty weak design. Anytime your engine overheats, the cast iron is going to expand, and eventually that cast iron is going to crack. This cracking typically occurs right where the valve seats are. These valve seats were actually induction hardened instead of being pressed in. It is worth it to note that people will drive around with cracked cylinder heads without any major engine problems for quite a while. All in all, I think we've got a pretty 50-50 split here. I think that for its time period, there are definitely some better options out there. If you've got experience with this one, I would love to hear about it.